Hello everyone! Today I am making a Halloween video. These are the 13 Ghosts of Sodor. I was probably wondering why I'm a smudger. No idea, but he's cool looking. I'm not remember I got his picture, but it's by this guy, so yeah. So I was originally gonna make a Halloween video talking about like every ghost. But then after a bunch of research for like over a month, I realized there were so, so, so many ghosts in Thomas and Friends. Like hundreds. Like there's so many different stories. So after doing a lot of thinking about this, and I've been thinking about this for like 2 years now, I'm doing the 13 Ghosts of Sodor video of the Coniverse. If you're not sure, the Coniverse, couldn't fit it all, sorry, is my own universe, my own AU. Honestly, I might give it a better name. I drew this tiny little stupid timeline, and this is a so we got the main timeline, which pretty much goes on here. Then it splits at two places: at Timothy's accident and at let's just say John's temper tantrum. So this main one right here. Well, technically it started with three, now we got four. Also got the Isle of Glenville multiverse, which connects here. Then after John temper tantrum connects. This ends in 2004, 1984, 2025, and then you got this one, the CGI multiverse, which is a whole separate one, simply so I can justify the existence of the Harwick branch line and Blue Mountain Quarry. So yeah, the ghosts I'm going to be talking about are from all three, and I'm probably not going to specify which is which. Now, these are the 13 ghosts of the Coniverse, plus a few. Also, I stole this from I don't honestly remember the Porterverse guy. If I will link him in the description if I remember. You honestly probably know who this guy is. He has a what's his name? He has his own Porterverse. Porterverse lore ramblings. You want to look him up? That's a video. Hey, sorry, I don't probably should find his name out before I make this video. I mean, he makes great videos, and yeah, I'm pretty much. I mean, a lot like half the things he makes in his canon, 100% agree with. Which follow them myself. Half the stuff I'm like, why? Why are all four Wells and Sutter tank engines many waters, many models, travel waters? So yeah, pretty much got these guys, Oddman, then you got these guys and these guys. And I don't really change much, but yeah, so you got these guys who they pretty much haunt an area. More of a kind of just more of I guess a lingering spirit, like I guess all ghosts are like that. Like spirits who refuse to move on, but they're not harmless in the slightest. Not really. These guys are more a warning, and they scare off your kids with dickhead like Duncan. And then you got these guys who are you see a ghost like this, you're dead. We'll just do that. Let's begin. So, Ghost 1. You have this one viaduct thing. Nope. And, let's see. So in the Converse, the viaduct is located right past Maron, right after you connect to the, right after you connect to the airport branch line, which I haven't fully thought about. Sorry. But I might make, if you want, I'll make a short or something about it. But yeah. New branch line, so to the airport branch line. Right after that junction, like maybe 50 feet, is this beautiful viaduct. Right after Maron. Well, it was constructed in that, I just always mashed up some really good, I saw this video like once, absolute, like months ago. I don't know who made it, but it was a fun watch. So, most people think the engine for the viaduct was Timothy, but I 100% disagree. I don't think it should be an E2 tank engine. I think honestly lazy is making it Thomas. Again, could be some cool character stuff, but I don't even know what Timothy is about. So yeah, you have this guy who was named Watson in my AU. So when they're building it in 19010, and yeah, Edward in my AU, Edward does come to Sodor in 1909. Just a little bit earlier, because like, pretty sure the K2s was shipped like 1900, but a little bit earlier, so they needed him to build it. He was well, they say they were not the best breakers. One night they were building the viaduct when they saw this train running by past Marrow and anyone flying over the edge and exploded. Can I turn my phone? Yeah, there we go. And exploded. Pretty much an investigation was called, and the guy to the engine, who was actually Billy, who had a derailment, he couldn't take the passenger train. So they had to take him because he was the only available engine. His brakes failed and pretty much crashed. But some people still say he was possessed or simply didn't like the railroad. Also, the original controller of the Northwestern was on this train who died because everyone did, like 30 people. Oof. And that actually the reason Stubborn Hat that first became controller. Also, there are four Stubborn Hats in my AU. This guy is a lingering ghost. Then you have Stanley and Smudger. Both do exist in the Coniverse. Is pretty much a CGI series, just as a bunch of extra stuff. But ironically, Smudger is in the more, I get because I guess my mid Sodor AU is the main timeline at Sodor AU. There's like I think I'm on 36 engines. Every single fan made TV series, railway series, every single engine that does appear in the railways or on the Mid-Soda Railway is in my canon. Most of them are main timeline, but you have engines like Andreas and Stanley who exist on the CGI. So ironically, my TV series timeline has Stanley, and my railway series inspired one has Smudger. Just make the Smudger movie canon. And yeah, so Smudger's gonna be a very important character in this whole video. So Stanley, he was turned to you know the story if you read the books. Stanley, American, he doesn't make sense of canon because like Falcon came to Rebel like 16 years before him, and Stuart came like 2 months before him. So I don't. Stanley's cool. I like him. In the other AU, he was derailed a lot, turned to a pumping engine, and in my view, was not moved to Castellano Mines. But when the Midsolar closed, he was simply abandoned and ended up rotting away until a bombing raid happened in World War II that destroyed most of the sheds, which is why it's in complete ruins. And Stanley was, I was gonna say unfortunately, but mm, maybe not really. But yeah, he was like a crazy ghost. I did make a video on it. You can go back. I think I think it's called The Ghost of Stanley if you want to watch that. It was my first ever like video game kind of point to point thing. First ever, I guess, story I made. It's not even a year old, and I despise it because it was my first one, but it really does show. But my later like stories, like my new Halloween ones, like Henry Gets Spooked Retold, and Duncan, or sorry, Haunted Henry Retold, and you know the ones I just made. I'm sorry. But those ones were in. Am I even, yeah, okay, we're good. Sorry. Anyway, those ones were in fact like I just made them, and I think they look pretty good. I'm still working on sound quality, and I've just been experimenting with angles and stuff, and I think I'm a decent at angles now, especially for Project Doug. And in Smudger, go watch the Smudger movie if you have seen it. Good for you. If you haven't, I immediately go watch it right now. But what happens in the Smudger movie is almost 100% canon in my view. There are a few things I'll change, but I'm gonna make a video about that later on in life, like February maybe. I got Project Dog to finish. Yeah, so that happened. Now I've debated making Smudger Evil Spirit, but I think because of DC, which we'll get to later, Ghost number 8, I I don't know. Also, Smudger and Stanley could exist in the same universe. I just don't have it that way. But they could easily exist, as Stanley was born in 1916, and Smudger was could have been built anywhere from like 1864 plus, which I personally believe Smudger was a copy of Bernays. They call I think they do say in this Smudger movie, a doll called replica. Again, go watch that movie. It's fantastic. My third favorite Tom's Friends fan made movie. Um, oh yeah, so Smudger is a lingering ghost, and Stanley is these guys. Very dangerous ghost. He was defeated when Bertram sacrificed himself during the events of 1020, which we'll get to in just a moment. So yeah, ghosts two, they're all numbered. So one is the guy, did I just forget his name? I can't remember names. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I literally just said him. So that guy's number one. Number two is Stanley, and number three is Smudger. Stanley was a this is Ghost Stanley, but yeah, he caused so in the 50s there was like there were five different ghosts in the 50s, and they started terrorizing. But yeah, Stanley was the engine that um Stanley was the engine that Duncan saw that put him off the bridge and killed him. Yeah, Duncan dies in my main AU, but in my CGI AU he does live. But yeah, in the main one Duncan dies. 1020, right over here. 1020, my fourth favorite fan made movie. Great stuff. I go watch it. You honestly, you've at least probably seen him somewhere. Honestly, I knew about 1020 in the books. I've read the books, but I did see a few. I saw like the video of him with like, the swirly eyes. Yeah, yeah, there is. Go watch this video. So I saw this. I'm like, who's that? And then I watched what it's one of those battle royale like battle. I made a bunch of them. I don't know what I'm talking. I made a bunch of those battle royales, and it had Timothy and 1020 battle it out. I'm like, wait a second, that's 1020. What? But yeah, 1020 Sustain was originally built for the Al Glenville Railway. He was in both timelines. He was sent to Sodor, and on his way there, he met Toby, who was meant to take him a goods train from East Anglia, and then met. But 1020 broke down, so Toby had to take the entire train down to Baron Furness, which actually was his first time to Sodor. Now, he wouldn't go to Sodor, he just went to Baron Furness, where a different train took it to Sodor. Maybe Henry. Haven't decided that part yet. And then Toby went back. And when he was there, he had a bad crash, and Dane slash 1020 was killed in the crash. Go, this is the channel. 1020 is one of these guys, and and these guys. So he's both. He's actually the only ghost because I mentioned the 13 ghosts of Sodor, but there are hundreds of ghosts in the Converse in real life, and he's the only one which is both of them, which makes him very interesting. Like, I do love 1020 and sort of thing. And he kind of like I go to two other ghosts he did hire, but he hired three ghosts to pretty much do his bidding during these times. Next up, this dude, Harmon, I think the name's I probably wrong. But yeah, he was I think it was Howen, Mr. Howen. Long story short, Smudger, the little dickhead, he was puffing around, had accidents, sent some trucks into a mine. His son was in the mine. His son died. The railway didn't give a damn because it was run by Mr. Carter, the most evil controller ever. Or at least one of them. Real Grand Controller might not be much better. So he got mad and pretty much just started screwing around the engines. He's the reason Stanley. Oh, well, it wasn't Stanley, but it was Crimson in my AU. It was Crimson who broke down, and he flooded the mine. He kind of indirectly got the Mr. Closed, but also was killed in the process. So his ghost started haunting Yarsdale, and after Rex gave him started talking to, he vanished, and then Rex gave him recognition because it was actually run by a good controller, and that was a good railway. If anything, I think I've kind of got the Mr. Closed. Even though it is my favorite railway in like all of Thomas, it is my favorite railway. Just because the mystery around it. Like next to Conquer Hardware, most mystery, yeah. Go watch this video. It was a good video. I just crappy job explaining it. Next up, Night Express to Vickerstown. Return of the Ghost Train. These were great films made by Thomas One, Edward Two, Henry Three. He also made the Bird from Smothered film series, which for a while, Bird from Smothered with the same engine, but I've since retconned that after watching so much of the movie. 'Cause I don't want to look at the Tug video. Alfred, long story short, he appears in the Railway series. He committed trainocide, trying to kill Edward and sorry, Gordon and Henry. He's a ghost. He came back in the 90s, which is actually the latest ghost that appears in the Converse. Or Ghost 5, Ghost 6, right? He's Ghost 6. So I found this guy who, hey, Ghost 7, 2 and 1. You have Godred, who I want to say Purple Hoodie Zero's take on Godred is my definitive one, as that's kind of the other half of Smudger. What I think they could technically still work because of DC, which we'll get to in just a moment. But he hasn't finished the series. I'm not sure if he's gonna, because he has a way of just like cutting projects halfway through and then just banning them. Hell, I think Limmerton's been canceled. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, here's his current series. Good series, good watch. But yeah, so he had Godric. He screwed around the railway. I'm not sure how he gets defeated in his movie show thing. So also that was the first time I ever felt sympathetic to Smudger. It's a mix in the Smudger movie. I might do a review one day, maybe. I think it's more of a you gotta watch yourself type deal. Yeah, so you got Santa Claus over here, which if you capture the ghost, it gives you what? He has a tea kettle. Oh no, the shows. So he has a tea kettle, and if you tap it against the engine at speed, it turns white, and the ghost is in the tea kettle, and that's how Godred's captured. Playing music, jeez. I'm not sure you can hear that. Well, Godred's castle, yeah. So they try to kill Alfred after he well, just rode the express and started doing other stuff. So they tried to kill him. They didn't work. Henry got thrown into a marsh, somehow lived. Then Croven the Second showed up, or Croven the Third. Did we count that one king guy? Yeah. Also, Bertram was briefly named Croven in my view when he worked on Scarlowi. So Croven came over. He defeated Alfred. Sir Tom Hat ran somehow very fast and caught Alfred. Boom into the tea kettle where it was hidden. Also, I do like the fact of it was on like all four railway, of the main four, because it was discovered by the Orsdale Lake prior to capture Mr. Ghost. Then it was used in the Cody Fell, hidden at Skarloey. That's Orsdale Lake, so it was Orsdale Railway and Miss Sodor. Then it worked in Cody Fell. Then it was hidden on Skarloey, so used in standard gauge engine, a standard gauge railway. Also, Alfred is white with red lining in my AU. He's one of these ghosts. And Goddard's also one of these ghosts. Hey, number 8, DC. I think this is just Jennings. Yeah, which is just Doug's face. Yeah, work with what you got. But yeah, so DC he took control of Smudger's brain, turned Smudger evil, kinda got John have a temper tantrum. And then Smudger's like, hey, you're in my brain now. I die, you die. He's like, I can't escape. So then he pretty much committed trainocide, killing DC. And then he tried to do some other stuff, and then Smudger broke. Which, again, I don't know if he died here, and I think he did. And DC is one of these guys, plus 10. The, um, I should also mention that DC was defeated here. At least in my view, he died. Okay, he was defeated. He was a demon. They actually the first demon ghost to appear in the Coniverse, but was the first one to go. First to appear, first to go. And he was defeated by Smudger. But he had a little sliver that took a hold of Smudger, turning him evil. Next, we have Rusty's Ghost Engine. I'm not sure if I should include him, but I want him to be 13 Ghosts, and I haven't found a number 9. So this guy exists now. And he's the one who killed Duncan, which, again, I said was always family. And, of course, he is the Altman Ghost. Next, we have everyone's favorite, Toby's, number 10. Toby's was one of Toby's brothers, I think. Or he came from a whole other planet after there was a ridding of Toby's population. And the alien species of Toby's, I haven't decided which. Going Galaxy reference. Toby's is he's scary looking. He also killed Jeremy. Jeremy does die in my AU. Just by this video right here by this guy. You can see down there. Now number what are we on 12 now? No, yeah, is it number? I think we're on. I think we're on 12. I'm pretty sure we're on 12. So he was Santa Express. He was captured by some ghost investigators, the third to last to go, but they let him out to defeat the Tobeast. Santa Express is from, I think he's from the game Cuphead. Is it Cuphead, right? I'm pretty sure it's Cuphead. Pretty sure it's from that game, which you do defeat him. So he was defeated. He also spreads a lot of mighty, but they brought him back to defeat the Mr. Conductor killed him. Brought him back to defeat. Oh yeah, okay. So we're on number 11. Brought him back to defeat Tobeast. And of the whole battle, Toby's was swept up in the lamp, and they kind of just let Phantom Express they banned him from using Godus. They banned him from Earth, but he's still out. They're just in a whole other dimension, not Connorverse, like dimension, whole the build dimension. So, uh, dang it. So yeah, Phantom Express and Toby's were gone, and then the mug was destroyed. Well, then they hit out the Scarlobi after that. Well, then they kept it. I'll get to the moment Proteus happened, where then they hit it, and then they found it to defeat Alfred, and then it was destroyed. Okay, number 12, Neil. Neil was I'm not getting mad at me for including him, but Neil was a S&M engine, Sodor Milan, and he was scrapped. I think by 1914 is where the canon is, which is not long before Thomas came, and he haunts the Howland Lake. Actually, he was one. So imagine how I said 1020 hired for three ghosts. Neil Stanley and the Phantom Express is who he hired. And I guess Smudger's kind of Smudger, but Smudger took a while to show up. But Neil confronted him, and he actually kind of defeated Stan. He kind of defeated 1020, which is, or when kind of defeated him, caused him to kind of do the whole town because he sacrificed town, and then 1020 just kind of left. He left. He just left the server. He's not around anymore. He just kind of moved on, I guess. And after that, Neil was just kind of like, okay, my job's done, and he vanished. Proteus, number 13. Now then, I've already made a short about this, but unlike what most people think, and like everyone thinks, Proteus did not fall off the Autumn Bridge. I don't know if anyone put that all together. So if you don't know, the Mid-Sodor is based off of the Chorus Railway, the Festiniog and Welsh Highland Railways, and the Snowback Railways. Or Snowback region of Rail. I haven't really know much about that last one, but I want to go to all of them. Like my dream one day is to go to all of them. Promise across the world. So yeah, Proteus and Albert were canvas with parts, well, and Falcon, and then made one Super Falcon. Happened to the Chorus 3 engines. Not sure the name of them. I made a way better video. So it's like 9 o'clock right now. I'm kind of asleep. Sorry about this. Just want to work on Project Doug as soon as possible. But yeah, so Proteus canvas with parts, and then Smudger, he kind of moved on though. Then Smudger came back, which yes, Purple Hazel's movie is complete canon. They brought back Proteus to defeat Smudger, which they did. And Proteus again moved on, and then they used on Alfred that it was destroyed. But Smudger did put a sliver in Duke. I'm not sure I used this canon. This picture. Duke went back to his own home, and so Duke went back to his own home. I guess this would be a fun episode though. If they, does yours ever even have flatbeds? I don't think they do. Put them on one of those coaches trucks. So handle home trucks. Um, sorry. He put a little sliver in Duke's head, but Duke's not really that kind of guy to just come to a demon. He has a lot of bad memories, but he can't. He's Duke. So Smudger was finally defeated. He's no more. Proteus was no more. Lamp was destroyed. And there we go. That's the end of the 13 ghosts. All of them have, pretty much all of them has been vanquished at this point. But we have one more to go. So on the Isle of Glenville Railway, there is this abandoned shed complex. Used to be part of the old PRR, Peter Run. I'm not entirely sure what it stands for. There's this little, probably Windy, maybe someone else. Then you have this one, Louise. Louise and Doug were pushed. Oh, well, Louise was in front, and Doug was pushing a passenger train up a hill by Smithstown. Louise is a prototype design, sister to Lisa, and also the inspiration to um, all who are those two Summer Whale engines name? I don't retire. I haven't played Summer Whales in quite a few months. Um, but the two, I can't tip of my tongue. It's like all something. But yeah, the two engines who are the tender engines in Summer Whales, plus the two engines who are also mentioned. So I guess there were six engines in this class. The Louise was the prototype, and then the other five later. Please comment below what you think of what are the names of those two Summer Whales engines? That Summer Whales is a game. Yeah, so they went up the hill, and her safety valve jammed, causing all the water to go to her firebox, exploded, and her corpse, because she was dead, was moved to the back of the shed and was scrapped. And there we go, everyone. I don't know if you want this to be my mascot or not, but if you do, then say yes, you want this to be my mascot. And if you somehow survived me rambling on this long, or somehow understood me, then props to you. Thank you for watching this. My Halloween special, I guess. I just kind of wanted to make this video. I'm sorry if I have annoying, but please tell me below if I have an annoying voice. I beg of you. I have a sheer lack of bad. I have like three bad comments. Two of them are completely my fault, and one guy just thinks I'm a Sodor Productions blazer. Well, honestly, just get him to me. He's probably just one of those people online who just bullies. He has a channel. Not to be rude, not very. I'm sorry. That's unnecessarily rude. Unnecessarily rude. It's just yeah, but online, like I want feedback. Okay, I love your good comments. Thank you for giving me so many good comments and being so loyal. This is my Halloween update, and subscribe. See you later, everyone.